Okay, I tried so many times to make an introduction to this video, and no matter how hard I try, I just always look like a weirdo. So the purpose of today's video is to talk about glandular fever and viruses in general, I guess, and what they do to the body and what they did to me at such a young age. So when I was in year 8, I got diagnosed with glandular fever. It kind of all started, I was super tired. At the time I was playing touch, OzTag, netball, gymnastics, a lot of things, and I woke up one morning with really puffy eyes, and I said to Mum, I can't go to school like this. I look like I haven't slept in weeks, even months. So I stayed home and they just seemed to get puffier and puffier. And so I went to the doctor and they said, you have a sinus infection. So they gave me some antibiotics and things to try and fix it all up. A week went by and nothing was improving. So we went back and we asked them to test for glandular fever. And so they did. And it came back positive. And they said to me, oh, within 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be better. You'll be up and running again and it'll be like you never even had it. 3 years later, and I can say I'm still suffering the effects of glandular fever. So yeah, it started with the puffy eyes and then came the razor blade throat. It was literally like there was a little man in my throat just having knives and cutting my throat. I couldn't swallow. Sometimes I get to the point where my throat would tighten up so much that I could barely breathe. And I had to use remedies like taking a shot of apple cider vinegar and then following it with Manuka honey, because it was just so painful, and that would actually like release my throat. I don't know, the soothing properties of those two ingredients helped. But then I'd also have the blocked nose. And I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but when you're trying to sleep and you have a blocked nose, but you also have a razor blade sore throat, it's really hard to sleep because with your blocked nose, you tend to sleep with your mouth open subconsciously, and that just makes the throat worse.
Like 10 times worse.
So those are the first few symptoms, along with extreme fatigue. I can't even put into words how tired I was. I felt like I couldn't even get out of bed. Some mornings I would literally just have to flop myself out of bed. To go to school, I was falling asleep in class. I was there, but I wasn't there. The brain fog was unreal. I would not be able to comprehend anything. I would have to get teachers to explain things to me 5 times before I actually understood what they were saying, if I got to that point. And I would sleep for like 16 hours, wake up and eat dinner, and then go back to sleep, and it was just a cycle. So I had about 1 to 2 terms off school at that stage. My school was very generous and they actually took my results from term 1 and then pushed them into term 2. So because the fatigue was having such an impact on my life, we went back to the doctors, who just proceeded to give me steroids to keep me awake. And I just got every side effect under the sun to do with steroids, like the headaches and the nausea and the muscle cramps and things like that. Then I came off the steroids and I started getting really bad pains just under my ears here, and I was so confused as to what would be causing that. I went to a doctor and they said, oh, you're just teething while you sleep. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely not grinding my teeth while I sleep. I can tell you that much,
Mrs. Doctor.
Anyway, I went on and I just tried to be more conscious in my sleep, I guess. Then about 6 months passed and it sort of had dropped off a bit during that time. But then it happened again, and my glands just under my ears were swollen. And every time I ate, it just got worse. So we went to a different doctor this time. And she was a eyes, nose, mouth specialist. Eyes, nose, and mouth, throat? One of the two. She actually sent me for an ultrasound. And the ultrasound came back that I had cysts in my salivary glands and that it was actually indicating Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease. Sjogren's attacks your salivary glands, your tear ducts, just your body in general, with things like fatigue and stuff like that. And it's generally brought on by a virus such as glandular fever, but the doctors don't really know much about it. They don't know much about glandular fever or autoimmune. They just know that it's actually when the body starts attacking itself rather than attacking an actual problem. It kind of creates its own problem. Because I had an autoimmune disease, they sent me to a rheumatologist who then proceeded to put me on steroids again to lessen the pain of the cyst. So I did it because I was in so much pain. That helped, but again, I got every side effect, so I came off it. But they also started me on my long-term treatment called Plaquenil. Plaquenil is just supposed to help with the markers in your blood levels. It's very complex, so I'm not going to go into that much depth. I'm still on the Plaquenil, and my goal is to get off all medication altogether, because what happens is the Plaquenil has side effects, which then you use another pill to fix the side effects, which then has its own side effects, which then has more side effects, and you end up having more problems than you started with. So in total now, I have visited 3 to 4 specialists. That includes a hematologist, a neurologist, a rheumatologist. It's just crazy. And my parents have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars going to these special doctors who just give me another pill and have no answers on how to fix the fatigue, how to get my body back to where it should be for a 17-year-old girl that lives in Australia. So you're probably wondering where Earth's Roots comes into all of this. It's actually because I have decided to go down more of a natural route with my health. As you can imagine, after all those doctor's appointments with no answers, I'm looking for an alternative method to try and get my body back the way it should be. So now I see an integrated doctor, which is actually a qualified doctor and a qualified naturopath. So they're qualified in both arenas. They take more of a natural route, but they understand the Western medicine side of things. So I go to this doctor just nearby my home, and she has taught me so much about the way the body functions and what it needs to be functioning properly, especially after a virus. When that doctor gave me those antibiotics telling me that I had a sinus infection, antibiotics, it doesn't only just kill what it's supposed to, it kills all of the good gut bacteria that you have. And in order for you to be healthy, you need good gut bacteria. So at that time when I was really sick and I needed the most nutrients, I was actually killing the good gut bacteria with antibiotics, but I didn't even know it because I had put my trust in these doctors. Don't get me wrong, doctors do have knowledge about human anatomy and they do know what pill is going to fix what, but at this stage in my life with an autoimmune disease, I just felt like that condition was a little bit beyond what the medications were capable of. So I've been seeing my integrated doctor for about 3 months now, and in that I take herbal medicines and supplements and things to support my immune system, because the Plaquenil that I'm on now is actually an immune suppressant, so it suppresses the immune system. Because when you have an autoimmune disease, your immune system's actually overactive, which means that it's just attacking things that don't need to be attacked. So the Plaquenil is suppressing them, and my herbs is actually lifting up my immune system. So the goal is to make a nice smooth transition where the herbs can take over and then I don't have to be on the Plaquenil anymore with all of its side effects. With going to the integrated doctor, I have also discovered that due to my gut being in a quite sad state, it's actually got allergies to dairy, gluten, eggs, and grains. I cut all those foods out of my diet, and it has made such an improvement on my bloating, my energy levels, and just my overall skin quality. At first, I found it really quite difficult to find meals that I would be able to eat that was still tasty, because when you take dairy out of meals, it can be quite daunting because it is such a staple in the way we live now. So I had to start experimenting. So I was looking up a few alternatives for breakfast because that was what I struggled with the most. I was fine with lunch because I could just do chicken and salad, and dinner I can just do stir fries or chicken and salad or pork and salad, salmon, salad, vegetables, getting those leafy greens and whatnot. But breakfast I really struggled because you can't have cereal and you can't have eggs and you can't have oats, no milk, no toast. All the breakfast foods were pretty much a big no-no for me. So I'm thinking, what can I have that's going to be nutritious and not just a bowl of fruit for my breakfast every morning? So I started Googling and I came across smoothie bowls. Now I've never really been a big fan of smoothies, but I have come across a few recipes that I am just in love with, and I have the same smoothie every morning for breakfast at this stage, and I'm just in love, and it's so filling. I can have it at 9 a.m. and be full until 1 p.m. It's so nutritious. I fill it with so much good whole food, and that's what keeps me going for the whole day. So that's where Earth's Roots comes into it all. I want to share all these recipes with you guys, and I want to take you along on my health journey because it means so much to me to be able to reach out to people who may be going through the same experience or may have a loved one who's going through the same experience, and you want to know how you can help them. My family have done such a great job of looking after me, but I've definitely made it hard for them, and it can be hard for everyone, especially when you're stuck at home and you can't do anything because you're so tired all the time. So Earth's Roots will be covering all things food, adventure and health, and I'll be posting recipes, hopefully a couple a week if I can. They'll be so delicious and so full of nutrients that you guys, you won't want to eat dairy and oats and toast for breakfast anymore. You'll be like, where's that smoothie? And that's the goal. I want to help spread awareness of how important it is to fill your body with whole foods and no refined sugars and no packaged foods that are full of fats and sugars and all kinds of nasty preservatives. So I want to get this show on the road. So that is why I'm making this video, just to give you guys a little bit of an introduction about who I am, what I've been through, and I hope that you guys can reach out to me and we can start sharing our stories and growing together, because it's a journey that sucks to go along on your own. I'm telling you now, keep your friends close, keep your families even closer. It's so important not to lose sight of the fact that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you. It's just about getting on your journey and discovering where the best place is for you at that stage in your life. So I'm so excited to launch Earth's Roots after uploading this video, and I hope you guys enjoy learning about your health and learning about what kinds of foods are beneficial to your gut and to your overall health and well-being. I hope you enjoy watching and making the foods that I show you as much as I enjoy filming them and eating them as well. But for now, I'm gonna love you and leave you and hope that your health is on the mend. See ya.